Welcome to the MMC. This is the Music, Metro, and Culture page. This video is just a supplemental to the instructions, and I want to explain a couple of things to you. This is the example of how the page, one of your pages should look. Well, all of them really. Let's look at the second page. Home, Music, Metro, and Culture. Those are text-based navigation links up at the top of your page. I do intend for there to be a thick black border all the way around all of the content of your page. I expect that this music here would be a header, and favorite band would also be a header. This little dashed line here, you could do that with an HR and experimenting until you get the color and the dashed part right. That's one way. You could also do it as a border, a dashed 1 pixel border, orange. Okay. You will have to change your navigation link up here at the top to the colors that you want to use. Remember LVFHA, link visited, focus, hover, active. So you can change these with the pseudo tag selectors for each. The background, you'll need a background. I've chosen blue in my example. And I want you to do your own original work. You don't need to choose my bands and my text. Okay, I'm not asking you to duplicate my page. I want you to do your own page. Okay, the only thing that's going to be similar with your page and mine is just the look and feel. All the content needs to change. And you also have this home, music, metro, and culture. Okay, this is the MMC page. So choose your own bands, make up your own text. Okay, you'll need to do things like this. Favorite band, Depeche Mode. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you right now that can be done with a class. And why would I use a class? Because you're going to be using that style that you create over and over and over. See this orange text here? Well, here it is again, and it's on the next page and the one after that. What's this? Oh, the first letter. So you could do a P colon first letter there. Now what about that? Hey, maybe that's that class that you created up here being reused. Just an idea. Notice that this division has a border around it. I did a 1 pixel solid orange. Choose your own, whatever you want to do, knock yourself out. And the one down at the bottom I did with dashes, so 1 pixel dashed border orange. Okay, so when you go to name these divisions, the one on the top, I'd call it, div 01, and the one on the bottom div 02 or something like that, because what you can do after you create this page and get all your styles perfect and just the way you want the page to look, copy this page. Just make a copy of it and just change the things that you have to change. Just change your content. Now, like as in the other assignments, I would choose for this navigation link at the top to do site root relative links, because when you make a copy of this page, they'll just work. What else can I tell you to help you get started? There is a disclaimer at the bottom, and on mine you can't see this very well probably, but it says disclaimer, this page belongs to a college student and falls under the Fair Use Act. I don't care what you say, I just want you to say something similar to that. Here's the thing, you don't have to create your own images. You're going to go get them from the web. And I don't want copyright issues, so we're just going to say, hey, it's a student page. In fact, you could, in your disclaimer, cite the source where you got your images, if you would like to. Okay, another thing to know, all of these images need to be links. So, I've got a Depeche Mode-ish image here. I would like for you to create an image link out of it so that when I click it, I can go to Depeche Mode's page, or whatever band you choose. Okay, here is my Metro page. This is my Metro page. Sorry to bounce around on you like that. Same thing, home, music, metro, culture, but this time I've got the same divisions with the, the top one is solid, Bottom one is dashed. Everything looks the same. You're just filling in new content. Here is my culture page. Okay, so let's go up to the instructions, and I'll try to clarify anything that I think might need to be clarified. Please check your spelling and grammar. Correct spelling and grammar. It's right here. Right? The text is your own original work. Do not, and I'm going to repeat this, do not go and grab somebody else's text off of the web. You need to make this all your own original work. Okay, you can grab the images. Do not grab the text. If I do a Google search and I find it, it's going to be big, heavy-duty point deduction. Okay, this is a big issue. I've had problems with it in the past, and I just want to clarify it up front. It's not something that I want to play with this semester. Tired of it. All right, all pages must display a disclaimer of your choice. I talked about that, and underneath that, it'll tell you, underneath each one of these items, it will tell you the point value. Okay. All CSS will need to be external, so this week's activities and readings and presentations will tell you how to do that in theory, and I will probably this week post a video about it. Okay, and they need to be in a CSS folder with a CSS extension. So basically just create your cascading style sheet code, all your styles, in the head of the document, and then once you have the page looking like you want it to look, take all of that CSS code and move it out to a mystyles.css file, for example. It's just going to be a text file with the .css extension. Just copy and paste, and then you have to link to it. So I want you to refer back to this week's presentations to figure out how to do that, and you might even have to do a little research online if you don't get it. Demonstrate the use of element groups. I'm going to tell you that students, just about 99% of my students miss this. It's very simple. Find an example of where you can use an element group. For example, H1, P. That means H1s and paragraphs, in this case, have a font family of Verdana. Okay, that's not so hard, and I think people just kind of miss it from the lectures online. So I just want to point that out. Don't miss that. That's 3 points. It's really easy to do. Demonstrate the use of classes. You learned how to do a class this week from the presentations. Demonstrate the use of P first letter. Link styles must be defined. Remember LV, FHA, they need to be defined in that order. All pages must have a title. Okay, oh, please title your pages. It looks really terrible if you've created a page with a tool like Dreamweaver and it just says untitled document at the top. So let's not do that. I'm guilty of it sometimes. We all forget. All pages must have a text-based navigation bar, and the links have to work. All pages must have a background color, and what I would do is try and stick with a background color, a single color for all of the pages within your site. And what you're doing when you do that is you're kind of branding, right? You have your own style of imagery and your own colors, right? And it's part of branding. And it makes the user feel like they're on the same page and haven't gone somewhere different every time they go to a page of your site. All division and image tags should employ the ID attribute. Okay, so images should be ID'd with an IMG and then an image name. In divisions, I'd like to see them with a ID of div and then the division name. These are names of your choice. For example, div 01, div 02, okay? IMG flower, IMG, Washington, D.C., whatever the image is, all right? Just give it a unique ID that makes sense for the content of the image. All images need to appear correctly. In other words, I don't want to see broken images. All pages need to validate. Okay, validate your pages, but you don't have to include that W3C HTML 1.0 logo if you don't want to. It's your choice. I'll leave that up to you. Okay, but I will go out and check to see if at least one of your pages validates. Okay, no broken links anywhere. And this right here, 16, submit a structured diagram. You do not have to do this for the online section of this class. So forget about it. Okay, questions, comments, you know how to reach me. Good luck.